Woo! What is good, guys? Today we have a battle against iamresh. I had this battle at my stream not too long ago. I'm using the same team I used against the Sergeant Bash, the rain team that I had, and he's using a team with 4 water weak Pokemon, a water immunity, and a Garchomp. So I'm not really sure that's the best way to go, but who am I to judge your team, buddy? This guy's actually pretty good. He knows what he's doing, so I mean, I can't really say anything. Shout out my nigga Black Blastoise. I don't even know why. He's just a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and lead off with my Jirachi. He's going to lead off with his Landorus Therian form. Now, first turn, I did not think he would go for the Earthquake, so I'm actually going to stay in and go for my Stealthorux. The only reason I stayed in is because I have a Landorus and I have a Dragonite, so I pretty much assumed that he would not go for the Earthquake in case I switched to one of them. So I'm going to stay and go for my Stealthorux. Luckily for me, I predicted right. He goes for the U-turn. It doesn't even do a quarter, so that's not too shabby. So he brings out his Nidoking. Now, it's fairly obvious that he's going to go for the Earth Power this turn. But just in case he wanted to predict my Landorus or my Dragonite, I'm going to switch out to my Politoed because I did not want him to go for the Ice Beam and for me to lose a Pokemon so early in the battle. So I just made the safest move in this case because, you know, it's less risky to bring in my Politoed than it is to switch to one of those guys. Even though if I had switched to one of those guys, it would have, you know, benefited greatly. But we don't care about any of that. I'm going to bring out my Politoed. He's going to send out his Tyranitar as I go for the Protect. I went for the Protect because I wanted to get a little HP back first of all, and then second of all, I wanted to see if he would switch moves and go for the Thunderbolt. So because he actually switched out to his Tyranitar, I'm thinking that he might be choiced, but I'm also thinking that his Landorus might be choiced because he didn't go for the Stealthorux first turn like I thought he would. So I'm not really sure what's going on right now, but anyways, he's gonna go for the Pursuit, which is I'm pretty sure I could have lived the Pursuit if I switched out, which means that I would have been able to save my rain for later. But at the same time, I don't really need my Politoed. I have 3 Pokemon that don't care what the weather is, and then I have a Jirachi which does have the Thunder, so I mean yeah. And then I do have an Azumarill which gets an awesome power boost from the rain, so at the same time it would have been nice to have rain, but at the same time I don't really care. But at the same damn time, he just killed my Politoed with a Stone Edge, so I lost my Politoed early, but like I said, I don't really need the rain. Sand is fine in this case. So I'm just going to bring in my power, and I'm going to go for the Earth Power, take out his Tyranitar. So I guess he let his Tyranitar die because he didn't need it anymore because my Politoed was dead. But now he brings in his Nidoking into my Landorus. Landorus is obviously faster than Nidoking, so he has no reason to bring in Nidoking if he is not Scarfed. So my prediction was correct early on. He is indeed Scarfed. I'm going to bring in my Jirachi expecting the Ice Beam, and he does go for the Ice Beam. And now I'm just going to go for the Wish because I expected him to bring in his Landorus, and I just figured Wish would be the most appropriate move to go for. Now that I have the Rocks up, he's not going to be able to bring in his Landorus forever, so he's going to lose 12% HP every time he brings that thing in. But anyways, I'm going to go for the Wish. Now I'm going to switch out, predicting him to go for the Earthquake this time, because he didn't go for it last time and I stayed in. But he actually goes for the U-turn again, so that was a good move on his part. I am going to get that HP right back though with the Wish. He's going to go right back out to his Nidoking now. I think this turn he predicted me to predict him to predict me to bring in my Jirachi. So since he thought that I thought that he would think that I would bring in my Jirachi, he probably thought I was going to stay in with my Landorus. So he went for the Ice Beam, but I brought in my Jirachi anyway. If that made any type of sense to you, I really hope that made sense to you, because it makes sense to me, because I don't know. Fuck it. He went for the Ice Beam, I switched to my Jirachi. But now he's going to bring in his Mr. T. I'm going to go for the Iron Head just to rack up some damage on that thing. I went for the Wish last turn because he stayed and went for the Ice Beam again. I think he predicted me to bring in my Landorus, predicting him to switch out. So I just went for the Wish. Now I'm going to go for the Iron Head to get a little bit more damage off on that thing, so he's not going to be able to switch in forever. Now I'm going to switch back to my Landorus. But he does go for the U-turn again, so he's making some very good predictions. But right here, I'm going to make an even better prediction. I'm going to stay in on his Nidoking, expecting him to predict me to bring in my Jirachi. So I predicted correctly. He went for the Earth Power, expecting my Jirachi to come in, but I did not fall for that shit. I saw it coming from a mile away. And now I'm going to stay and go for the Earth Power, take out his Nidoking. That is another big threat I do not have to deal with anymore. But now he's going to bring in his Terrakion here. It was pretty obvious to me that he would most likely go for the Rock-type move. I mean, why wouldn't he? If he didn't attack me directly, he'd most likely go for the Swords Dance. That would be risky, though. Or if he didn't attack me directly, he'd most likely go for the Substitute. If he went for the Substitute or the Stone Edge, I'd be fine. If he went for the Close Combat or the Swords Dance, I'd be fucked. But luckily for me, he went for the Stone Edge, and it turns out that he's probably banded because that Stone Edge did quite a bit of damage, even though I do resist it. It did over a quarter. So, I mean, he's most likely going to be banded. So I'm going to stay in, go for the Iron Head, just to, I don't know, get a little bit more damage off on that thing. This Gastrodon is the reason I did not go for Rock Polish earlier. So I just wanted to get as much damage off on this thing as possible. But it looks like he's most likely choice specs because I am max HP, max special defense, excuse me. And he did a shit ton of damage to me with that Earth Power. Not only that, he doesn't have leftover, so I'm not really sure what item he could possibly be. But anyway, since I went for the Wish, I'm going to be able to bring in my Dragonite, and I'm not going to take any, I'm not going to lose my multi-scale because I'm going to get the HP back from the Wish. Now I'm going to be able to go for the Outrage, take out whatever Pokemon he would want to switch into, or if he wanted to stay in, I'd be able to take out his Gastrodon, excuse me. So now I don't really have anything to worry about. If I do end up getting off the Rock Polish with my Landorus, I'll be able to sweep his entire team. But obviously the multi-scale is broken because of the sand, and now he's going to be able to take me out with an Outrage from his Garchomp. So I mean, it's good that, I don't know, it's good for him that I brought in my Dragonite, but then again, the only reason I brought in Dragonite was to take out the Gastrodon, potentially. So I mean, yeah, that's fine. Anyways, he's going to go for the Outrage again on my Jirachi. I guess he doesn't really have a choice because he is locked into it. I'm going to go for the Iron Head, kill myself in the process, but get a good amount of damage off on that Garchomp. It did a lot. It did more than a quarter. I was actually kind of surprised. But anyways, I'm going to bring in my Strength. Now the plan here was to go for the Substitute. Hopefully he'd either switch out or hit himself in confusion because I want to be at a neutral amount of attack when he brings in his Landorus, because then I'll be able to take it out with his Stone Edge. Also, I want it to be behind the sub because his Landorus is going to be faster than my Terrakion unless I am behind the sub. So, I mean, wait, no, that didn't make sense. His Landorus is going to be faster than my Terrakion regardless, but I want it to be behind the sub so I could hit him without dying, obviously. Anyways, so it turns out that his Garchomp actually has Substitute as well. I'm actually going to take a little bit of damage from the Rocky, wait, do you take damage from behind the Substitute if they have a Substitute? Huh, I've never seen that before. I expected him to take damage. I expected my Terrakion to take damage from the Rough Skin even though I was hitting a Substitute, but I guess that's not the case. Anyways, holy balls! I'm gonna go for the Close Combat again. Now I guess he obviously did not want me to be behind the Substitute as he died, so he just went for the Earthquake and stuff like that. But now he's gonna bring in his Mr. T, aka Landorus. He actually goes for the Stone Edge, and I believe he kills me because I have the -1 defense. No, -2 defense. Sorry. I have the -2 defense, so he's actually going to be able to kill me with the Stone Edge. Now here I'm going to bring out Bitch! And Bitch is going to be doing a little bit of cleanup work. I believe my last two Pokemon were Azumarill and Landorus. So his Landorus was going to die regardless. And then obviously Terrakion, I'm pretty sure could have lived this Aqua Jet, but I did get the critical hit. I'll have to do a calc though. I'm not really sure if it could have lived it, but I'm not really sure. I'll have to calc that, but I'm fairly certain that I would have won regardless because I'm pretty sure that Stone Edge would not have been able to. Well, I don't really know. I really don't. But either way, I won. So fuck 'em all. Fuck 'em all like an orgy. I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna be starting a new Pokemon playthrough soon. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Check back. This narration kind of took a lot out of me. Holy shit. Just non-stop talking and yapping and yappity yappity yap. Alright, bye.